you worked for Polkadot, right? Or
Yeah.
is that what was your role there? Because you were into these bigger.
Yeah, I've been helping a lot of the multiple layer ones, right? Like Polkadot last year was Tezos and Polygon as well. For Polkadot, I was never actually an official, let's say, head of something. I was kind of being just an investor, ecosystem builder, kind of almost like a ambassador per se.
Gotcha. So you
Tezos and Polygon, I was kind of a official head of China and head of South Asia for them.
Okay, so you're head of Southeast Asia, China, Tezos, and Polygon, and you were an ambassador for Polkadot. But that experience locked you in with some of these bigger venture capitalists, like these alpha players, signed these NDAs and stuff like that. And then from there, you got a lot of that knowledge from how they move, and then you took that knowledge and you created Lucid Blue. Clear Mind, environmental, kind of embodies a lot of those core principles of yours. Okay, and then you mentioned your 100 deals. Tell me, what was some of your biggest ones? I already mentioned a few of them. People could go to your website, lucidblueventures.com. But yeah, tell me some of those things, and then we could get into like how you thought through these things. So like, what's some of your portfolio here?
In our portfolio, category-wise, we invest in DeFi. We have quite some of NFT protocols. We invest in metaverse infrastructure. Last year, we also had a pretty big gaming year. We invest in some of the GameFi, blockchain gaming projects as well. And this year we saw some of interesting kind of social fi or, interesting on-chain analysis kind of tooling projects as well. And I think, one of the biggest deal we invested in is Polkadot, I think, right? That's kind of the infrastructure project per se. One of the most famous kind of metaverse project we invest in is RCT AI that focus on multi-chain metaverse, infrastructure as well. We recently invested in quite a few other very exciting, high potential metaverse infrastructure projects like MetaZone, CypherMod, Bastion. Some of them we co-invested with A16Z, Sephiemian, Paradigm. Some of the very big name VC funds in the space, also Animoca brands, and that are very active in the NFT and the gaming side. Yeah, and I myself is a big gamer, so I saw a lot of those kind of gaming content projects. I believe I kind of have a very interesting taste and insight how to read through the team and understand their product journey and the roadmap. And in terms of how we look at the project and our investment thesis, we always try to see how projects and teams can have the ability to deliver the product solutions that are actually move the needle in the space, right? So we always try to understand what exactly the problem they're trying to solve, and what's the kind of approach they can deliver the product, right? What's the kind of the tech roadmap? Who's actually delivering the go-to-market strategy, right? Who's actually building the community and so on. I myself is a community builder and an ecosystem builder, right? So I will kind of just compare the notes and try to see the practice, right? The best practice from the team, if somebody actually know knowledge and so on.
Yeah.
And of course, at the end of the day, we look at the vesting schedule, the valuation, some of the terms, right, for investment. But also, I think more importantly, we look at how we can help and support the projects, right? When we invest in them, we barely invest in any project. We just do passive financial investment. We try to always explore the synergy strategically, how we can help the projects, kind of, I wouldn't say holding hands, spoon feeding, right? Otherwise, that's kind of not going to be a good sign, but definitely try to empower the founders, right? And, speed up their process, how to accelerate their business, from our resources, from our knowledge and help, right? And we always try to say Lucid Blue as a fund, together with my partners, Steve and Michael, and some other venture partners in our fund, we have access to both the Web 2 and Web 3, and in terms of knowledge and resources. And also we have good, strong network in Asia, and also good network in America and Europe as well. We're well-rounded, supportive fund in the space. Okay,
so there was a lot of really good information there, and for someone like me who's a brand new investor, like especially I don't before crypto I never invested in startups, and so now I'm investing in startups. I want to break down these 4 solutions that I took notes on, just for anyone else reading. you said the first thing you said was we take a look at teams if what their problem what the problem is they're trying to solve and whether or not they could deliver and execute a solution to that particular problem. So it's a deep understanding of the problem they're trying to solve, the solution, the proposed solution, and the ability to execute said solution. So you have to probably know a little bit about the team to know about the ability to deliver. And so you're probably interviewing or whatever you do. I'd like to go into that a little bit. So that's the first thing is problem solution. Second thing you said was execution. The third thing you said was vesting schedule, because you want to see the return on things. And the fourth thing you said was how can we add value or how can we synergize here? So typically, right. I think that's a different mentality from like a cowboy like me who's brand new in the space. And I'm thinking, okay, how will this go up? Will this go down? You know, like that's not the frame. This is a different framework from how I used to think or how I currently think sometimes. I'm like, okay, oh yeah, this is going to pop off. Everyone's going to get excited about it. You're thinking about it as, okay, problem solution, delivery execution, vesting schedule, and then what can I add? How can I make sure that this is going to pop off? I thought that was very interesting. I think anyone who's watching this should really take notes on that. I have some questions here. For me, when I look at new projects, I go to the website, I look over the website. I try to reverse image search the pictures if they have I take notes. Are they docs? Are they not docs? What does like, I try to read the contract. I go in the Discord channels and I see if things are authentic. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much the extent. And then I think about, okay, what's the problem? What's the solution here? How does this all work? That's pretty much the extent of my research. Do you do anything more than that? Like, do you call these people up? Do you have interviews with people? Like, what is your in-depth research process like? And how can I emulate that?
First of all, I think by being in the space kind of forever, at least 80% of my career is in the space. I kind of know a lot of people. I wouldn't say everybody, but know a lot of people. A lot of well-connected people can provide me interesting third-party reviews, feedbacks in multiple angles as well. I don't just take one person's feedback about something and a certain team for granted. I want to have different opinions from other people and kind of counterbalance, right? And see something I don't know. And of course, although I'm Asian, we're supposed to be kind of indirect, kind of Confucius culture, but I learned my way in the Netherlands, kind of Dutch culture, to go very straight and straightforward. Just kind of having multiple conversation with founders, kind of eye to eye to the founder. Do you feel like you have enough what you got to deliver that, right? When we talk about the competitor analysis, right? Do you think you guys have better than your competitor, right? In terms of approach, in terms of resource, in terms of capability, and many other things. We sometimes even trying to do our own landscape analysis. Because, for example, if we invest in NFT lending, that's niche, and we find at least 5 projects. We eventually only pick one team we invested in, and actually we seeded their investment and bring a lot of investors for that project. That team actually eventually get approval from Ethereum Foundation for the ERC 4907. That's their NFT lending, asset lending and leasing protocol. Before the other 4 projects. So I don't know how to say that. It's like you need to find a lot of ways to getting the alpha. The space is so small. Just briefly checking, the social media, Discord, LinkedIn, sometimes they're actually not enough because, first of all, some of the early stage projects, they don't necessarily have very strong, well-rounded social media presence yet when they are very, very early stage. And maybe some of them very techy, right? They're not actually very good marketing people, right? And so you don't have too much information you can see from those kind of websites, right? And then, to be honest, and I actually invested in a tool actually doing the AI on-chain and off-chain and analytical stuff, looking at people's social media. They said to me, and I believe in those data with also AI engine they run, 85% of the social media channels and a lot of the accounts in the space are fake. With bots, with watch trading or whatever you call it, right? You can buy paid ads, getting hundreds of likes and retweets, everything. To give you this feeling, it's a hyped project with a lot of the users or community followers or fans, which actually are not true, right? So just looking at the numbers in those Discord channel or feed, or how to say the tweets, right, are not necessarily enough or sufficient. And at the end of the day, investment is really about risk management, right? You look at the timing, you look at the price point that you get in, right? For early stage venture fund, it's really about valuation as well. No matter how great they are, if the valuation doesn't make sense, especially right now we are kind of in the bear round compared to last year, we're much in the bear round. The position you enter is very, very important. All that, right, to justify the risk return factor. So risk management in the crypto space is very, very important. When everybody's talking about do your own research, it's really about risk management, right, and so on. So it's a very high return, high risk space. So at the end of the day, we need to look at that.
Got it. So you dropped even more knowledge on me. I'd like to break that down just for anyone who's listening. You said that looking at the social channels is not enough because one, there's these bots and fake accounts. I think we all kind of get that feeling. But two, I thought that was very interesting, is you said that early stage startup people are very techie minded and not marketing minded. And so getting a feed on their social channels might not be a fair look at them because they're more techie minded than not marketing minded. So it might not give you enough information or even a polished look if you're just looking at their marketing channels. So I thought that was very interesting. And then you listed out 3 things you did that I personally, it's very difficult for me to do, at least 2 of these things. When you're interviewing these projects, one, you have an eye-to-eye conversation, very like you see, which is why I love AMAs. Like you get that feeling from somebody. And you ask them like, hey, you just ask them questions and you get a good feeling from them. 2 is the network. Like you said, a ton of people in the small space, and you want that third party counter opinion to weigh your opinions about this. So it's like, I said this for a very long time on the channel. One of the things I wanted was a big network around me, a bunch of people around me to kind of like, bounce ideas. I think it's one of the best things a crypto investor can do in this space. So that's 2, the network. And 3, you try to look at the landscape of things. So like you were talking about NFTs and you're talking about like the bear market versus a bull market and all this kind of stuff. So you take a general landscape picture of everything, and then that's how you create your valuation of them. And so it's more, risk management, yes, but more is like, okay, what's this valuation of this company and how do I manage that risk? And doing your research, that's what the research leads to.
You are such a great, you can summarize everything such a great way. Oh my God, I'm so impressed.
Oh, well, no, I mean, I'm learning from you, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like I said, I'm taking notes here, baby. I think
you're learning master.
I feel like people should take notes.